We try to get that story out there about what you would do with the tax cut, with the immediate depreciation, and how you would spend that money so that we have real stories that the media is carrying to the American public. Because the bill's been so beat up in the media by folks who are claiming, oh, it's just tax cuts for the rich, tax cuts for the rich at the expense of, everybody else. And the reality is it's not. And I know there's some wonderful provisions in there that we've talked about here at Job Creators Network and on this podcast. But tell me what you're focused on some of those provisions and kind of the highlights of what your members are telling you are just fantastic about the bill.
Well, thank you. So first of all, let's kind of rewind the clock a little bit. So 14 to 16 months ago, when we really started looking at what mattered most to small business owners, what we heard, and I know after talking with your team, Karen Harned and Alfredo Ortiz, it was very, very clear that small businesses were desperate for certainty. And there was this looming deadline of an expiration of several provisions that were passed in 2017 that would have resulted in a multi-trillion-dollar tax increase if Congress didn't take action. And so we absorbed all that information, and then it became very clear that our top priority had to be creating a tax code that kept those low rates and guaranteed permanency and predictability so that small businesses could plan more than 2 weeks ahead. How wonderful would it be to plan 6 months ahead, a year ahead, and so forth? So that was our starting point. And then, Elaine, when you talked about small business advocates, I cannot overstate the importance of these wonderful men and women who volunteer their time to tell Congress what they know. And I'll just share one example because I referenced him already, our alfalfa producer in Buckeye, Arizona, Dick Cardew. He was in a meeting with Congressman Schweikert from the Phoenix, Arizona area. And Dick said, look, I'm not an accountant. I'm not an expert in all of these tax complexities. All I know is that I've been saving up for 2 years to buy this machine that will help me load hay onto my truck. Because he's getting older. I mean, he can't do it anymore. There aren't actually that many low-wage workers that are willing to do this really hard work. And so he's been saving for a machine. And he said, the tax rates that started in 2017 have allowed for me to put aside some money to buy this machine. That's really what I need to do. But in order to do that, next year, I've got to have that 20% deduction because he's the sole proprietor.